I've got the cherry picker set up. I'm going to shift this out and over a little bit, I think. I want to stay kind of in the garage today, but I'm going to have to elevate this a little bit and then prop up the trans. I want to keep them a little bit separate so I can use the cherry picker to lift the motor up while the trans stays stationary, because I do not at all want a repeat of this fiasco from last time. Doing this by yourself, you can do it. Just be more careful than I was. I was kind of rushing on trying to get them back together. Slipped off, shattered the bell housing, so we don't want to do that. So I'm going to shift this, get myself a little bit more room to work here, and then get the trans propped up, hopefully a little better than last time. Right in my walking way, but hopefully that won't stay there that long. I got the oil pan barely supported by a block of wood down below. Hopefully you guys can see that. Trans pan is pretty level on a block, and then I'm leaving the cherry picker hooked up for now because it's a little tippy. Using the block underneath the pan doesn't work that well. Normally I'd use a tire, but that thing's filled with water, and I don't really want to do that right now. So we're up high enough, and being up on blocks off of the ground, I should have enough room to yank the starter and the torque converter bolts before we pull the case of the trans off. When we get to pulling the trans case, I'm going to grab the other motorcycle scissor lift underneath the car right now, set that on the front side, and then we'll kind of jack the trans up a little bit and then come up on the motor. It should cause it to pull and separate and lift right off, in theory. So let me get jamming on the starter and the bell housing, or starter and the torque converter bolts underneath on the other side. So we'll do the starter first, then I'll go around and do the converter. One thing I do like about the old cars is how simple these starters are. So we got two 9/16 bolts here. One there, one on the bottom. Some of them do have three, if I remember correctly. That is it. We're going to be doing this on the truck at some point soon. That starter has definitely seen better days, and I don't know why. It's not even that old, but she grindy. There we have it. Starter is free. Put these bolts right here so we don't lose them. And now we can get to the torque converter stuff on the inside, and maybe we'll go to the other side of the car for that, or other side of the motor. On the torque converter, bolts are right here, and hopefully we can break these free without having to grind anything off, or not grind anything, lock anything out rather. Try it with the impact here. Not so lucky. The issue you're going to run into is it's going to try and spin. So we're going to need to prop something in here. There we go. So basically I got the tooth wedged on the flex plate and the case just enough to break them free. There's definitely better methods of doing that, but this is what we got. Go to the starter side and rotate this now. Also much easier to do if you pull your plugs out in terms of rotating the motor over with this. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute. You know what, let me yank the plugs out of this just so this is easier to spin around, and then I'll try and rig something up on the other side so I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. Got sick of the screwdriver, so now what I'm doing is using the flex plate itself as leverage. So right now you can still free spin it and bring this down. I get to here, I can't spin it past that plate. So, I'll pop that free. There we have it. Now all 4 of the torque converter bolts are out. We are ready to start pulling the bell housing. Yank off some of this TV cable stuff on right here too, because this I need for the other transmission. This is all loose right now. So we're good there. This is the important part I need for the other one. I'll keep the spring on there too. Gotta go around the engine stand here, so a 1/2 inch on this low carb bracket for the socket and ratchet size. Do not lose that spacer. I will need that for the other one. So let's slap this right back together just the way it was. So like I said, this is the end of the cable that's good. This one is so beat up and frayed on the end here. So now we're ready to start pulling a torque converter. Let me figure out a scissor lift situation underneath the trans so it doesn't fall off of here. Get this supported underneath, then I'll pop these bolts out on the bell housing, yank it back, and hope the converter doesn't fall and spill trans fluid all over my garage. Alright, motorcycle scissor lift underneath the front. Transpan supported in the rear. Motor's still technically kind of up in the air, but all we got to do now is pull off the bell housing bolts. So the starter's free. Got one underneath the fill tube. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 of them, 5/8 bolts. Shouldn't be too bad. These ones I think we can actually just kind of zip off. Might need a socket, but ideally, with the current setup, everything should kind of stay in place. I'm going to start on the dipstick tube one just so I can get room to that lower one. I'll pull the dipstick out right now so we don't forget it. I'm actually not going to take these all the way out completely yet. Do the sides. Come on. Of course, there's going to be one step. Now these ones I'm actually going to come out kind of slowly with, at least the top 2. I'll leave a couple of these in. I think. How wiggly is she? Alright, so I got 2 threads in there. Now, I'm going to try coming up with the motor. Got a little separation here already. Just like that. I'm off the pin on the other side. Tail housing's covered in oil. That's no fun. we're free. It's a little tippy. Just like that, separated and free. And there goes the coolant. Really want that in the driveway. Every time. Can't do something without making a big old mess. Go up with this. Now that it's done leaking all over the place. Ooh. Nobody's gonna tell me I'm hitting the trans over here. We're gonna move this trans over and onto the ground. Maybe. Try not to drop the converter. Because this is in the way now. Nothing like getting set up to clean up the mess after the fact, right? Alright, I'm just going to let that drain. It's going to make a mess. It's going to do what it's going to do. But there we have it. Motor and trans are separated. Now I can start looking over that T or AOD. Not leaving it on the board like this, but that's just easier for right now. So I'll slide the board out, get that flat on the ground, start figuring out what other parts I got to rip off of that. Well, that thing drains more coolant all over my garage. Then we'll go back over to the other trans. Alrighty, well, trans is on the ground. I rotated the block, so this is kind of hooked up. I threw a wrench on the torque converter, but I don't really know if I needed to do that, just in case I do move it. But this torque converter is going back into that transmission, so I think I'm actually going to yank this off. And the issue I'm running into is working on transmissions sucks without making a giant mess, because trans fluid goes everywhere. I need to take a couple of the bolts out of the drain pan. In order to get to the bottom of it, I need to move it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way, logically right now, to make the least amount of mess possible. That torque converter is going to come out. That's still filled because this was running in the car. So we'll yank that out. I think I'm actually going to drain all the fluid out and refill that with some fresh stuff before I put it back in here. We got the transmission all buttoned up, minus the linkage stuff and some of the stuff I got to swap over from the other one. Not that big of a deal. That she is put together. Torque converter's obviously not in. No fluids, none of the actual assembly stuff yet, but that should, in theory, fingers crossed, work just fine when we go to slap it all back together. Now, dilemma that I am running into. I have 3 motors in the corner of the garage, all of which can come apart or come off of the stand. But in order to get to those now, I have a transmission on the ground here, all of the parts that need to go back on the Falcon there, engine on a cherry picker on a driveway that sucks to roll motors, bikes over here, bikes there, and I have 3 engine stands and need to work on this engine. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I do have another engine stand back at the shop as well. I don't know how well it's put together. It might be missing some bolts and things like that too. But I need to take the top end of this motor off and the front cover off. I'm trying to decide if I want to just do that on the ground here. I'd like to have it on a stand, but I don't know if I want to flip-flop and move all of this just to do that. 2 bikes plus a motor across a cracked garage floor doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. So decisions, not sure what to do. I could just jump in the truck, run up there and grab one of the engine stands. This should only be a part for a day, so all I gotta do is disassemble it, clean all the gasket surfaces, throw a new cam in, and heads. That's all I have to do, I guess. So let me think about that. I'll come back when I figure out a game plan on how we're gonna flip-flop all of these.